Hello and welcome to Keeping It Real Consumer, the channel that provides honest reviews of your favorite products. Today we are going to be reviewing the Peloton. This is my Peloton. I have had this one right about 10 months. I do have an affiliate link in the product description, so please check that out. Getting into it, when you first get your Peloton, you get this whole bike right here. You get the screen, you get the whole bike apparatus. This is high-end exercise equipment. If you don't really know the difference, I would say that this bike is rock solid. I have been sweating on this thing daily for like 10 months. It hasn't rusted. I mean, it's rock solid. It is built tough. It is also very heavy. It's got some wheels on it that if you really want to move it, you could. I probably wouldn't recommend that just because of how heavy this thing is. For context, I'm a 6 foot tall, 190 pound male, and I find it extremely heavy. So just an FYI there. Now, when you first get your Peloton, you do want to plug it in. I've got mine plugged into an outlet that runs down over here. That gives it power. I have connected it to my home's wireless internet, so that is good to go. I've added accessories to my bike, right? So in terms of everything that comes with it, what the accessories are here, these weights, I added those as accessories, the Peloton weights. I added a little fan here. They sell these on Amazon. You can easily add it to the front. It just plugs in underneath. Super simple to mount on here. I added the Peloton water bottle. Really cool water bottle. You just spin the top up here to open it. I usually just leave mine open all the time and it never spills or anything like that. I've also got a trusty towel. That is a necessity because you will sweat on this bike. I sweat through my clothes pretty much every single time I ride this thing, and I do it nightly, all right? Now, something else to be mindful of with the Peloton is your setup, right? So in terms of the height here, I've got mine on a 20. I've got this on C right here, the letter C, and then I've also got this one set up on H. Now, I don't know if there's a perfect schematic for setting this up. You just kind of have to set it up for how you feel comfortable. I would tell you, I think the most important part is probably the height of the seat so that you're almost getting a full leg extension, but just not quite. That's kind of where you want this thing, all right? Now, in terms of everything else that's going on here, the seat itself, sometimes when people first start with the Peloton, they say, oh God, the seat's hard. You know, my butt hurts, that kind of deal, right? Well, I would say it took me about 3 weeks or so. And after that, I never looked back. Now, that being said, even still, I have sort of augmented this, and I'll explain that I think the accessories that you do with the Peloton bike make a world of difference. So, for example, the pedals here are made for cycling shoes. When I first started, I did not have cycling shoes. I simply pedaled with tennis shoes. I had shorts and a t-shirt. Eventually, I leveled up and I went to exercise clothes. I was wearing tank tops, things like that. Still had my tennis shoes. Then I decided I needed some full-blown cycling shoes. That's what I wear today. So with cycling shoes on the bottom, they have this little ridge right up here up front. That kind of clicks in, and then the back clicks in right after that. And I'll show you how exactly I do that. When you have cycling shoes, it makes a world of difference on this bike because you can get a heck of a lot more out of your workout when your feet are clipped in and you don't need to worry about them slipping. Sometimes when I would do the really fast workouts, my feet would slip a little bit. Maybe you bang your ankle. That doesn't feel good. So I really think a strong recommendation to get the cycling shoes with it. Now, that being said, I also wear cycling shorts. These shorts are padded. What that means is there's padding built into them. So when you have extra padding and you're sitting on the saddle here, it doesn't hurt your rear end one bit. I've also got a cycling jersey that's breathable material, keeps me nice and cool. And I wear these gloves, padded gloves. The main reason that I wear these is kind of twofold. One, to avoid calluses, blisters, things like that. The other is simply because you're sweating so much. If you're not wearing gloves, your hands are going to be sliding around here on the rubber handles. Now, when you have the gloves on, you don't have that problem at all. So something else to be aware of here with the Peloton, there's a little knob here. This knob either increases resistance or reduces resistance. Now, depending on the rides you're doing, they'll say something like, okay, we're going to do some spin-ups. That's usually a reduced resistance where you're pedaling as hard as you can for 20 seconds, 30 seconds. Or they'll say, all right, we're going to do some hills. That's increasing the resistance all the way up to whatever number they want you to go with. I would say over the 10 months of me doing this, I have increased both of those significantly from where I started. So I have come a long way in my 10 months with the Peloton. Now let me kind of show you what this looks like in terms of when you're getting on the bike and sort of what the main screen looks like. There's me. I usually clip my feet in first. That's the first thing I do. So I hook that first foot. I clip that one in. I hop up. I hook this second foot. And then I kind of just clip it in just like that. Now, if you've never done cycling shoes before, they're very easy to get off. You basically just move it to the outside, pops right off, right? Very easy to do. If you want to put it back on, clip it on the outside and then push it back in. Very simple, right? Now, let me show you what it looks like on the screen. So if I click on me, this will basically log into my current profile right now on Peloton. And when you're first looking at this, you've got basically some, these are almost like hotkeys if you think about them like that. These are basically instructors that I've done recently, timed rides that I've done, 5-minute, 30-minute, 20-minute, cool downs. That's kind of what's up top. It'll also show you your day streak up top. It'll show you things like a live ride, right? Like there's Dennis Morton right there. In terms of below, it's got new classes. So every single day they are uploading content. This is one of my favorite things about the Peloton. There's always something to do. It's like a cruise ship. You never run out. There's always somebody on at a different time. There's a new class. There's a new theme. Something's going on. If you see this featured collection right here, it's got like the Songs of Summer, Peloton Triathlon, basically. The Artist Series. That one's one of my favorites. The Artist Series is basically different musicians from all over the planet. Recently, they did one of Oasis. They did one of Beyonce. I've done Run DMC. I've done Blink-182. I've done all kinds of different artist series. I did Prince. Had a lot of really cool ones in there. Those are really, really awesome. They're a lot of fun. If you keep scrolling down here with this nice touchpad, and by the way, it's a huge screen, it works great. You've got a most popular right now. So in this one right here, just right now for Jess King, there's 231 people in this ride right now. On the following one, 246, the next one, 213. Those are people in the class right now. And let me explain how that works, that you can either sign up for a class and do it live, or you can simply just take it later. And when you're taking it later, there's other people taking it later. And so there's always a leaderboard that's going on the side. This is one of the things I personally love about Peloton, is it kind of speaks to my inner gym rat, the competitor in me, that I'm always competing against various people that are in that ride in the leaderboard, right? I really enjoy that. Now, it's got a recommended for you. So these are some of the instructors I've done recently. It's got quick workouts because you like music rides, daily picks, yada, yada, right? Everything's in there. Now, if I click on programs, you can see they also have tailored programs that are out there. Self-care retreat, pump up the volume, upper body with Tunde. There's lots of stuff here in terms of tailored programs. Again, like I said, it's like a cruise ship. You keep going. Classes. This is the one that I usually go to, and I ride the Peloton, for context, on a daily basis. I try to ride it every single day. Sometimes I don't always get to. In terms of the time commitment, I probably do a half-hour ride with a 5-minute cool down. So maybe 35 minutes all the way up to, let's say, 50 minutes, maybe 45 minutes and a 5-minute cool down. That's really all I do here, and I've lost over 30 pounds over the last 9-10 months, right? Now, when I go to this, it shows you everybody. Now what you can do is you use this filter right here, right? So I can filter by the instructors that I really like. So some of them I really like Ben Aldis. He is very difficult, very challenging. I would say more of an advanced rider. I like Bradley. He's got tons of great motivational quotes, things like that to you. Always gets me motivated. That was one of the things that I really didn't expect with Peloton, was the motivation, the way that my mental health has responded has been tremendous. I like Christian Vandevelde. If you don't know Christian, he's a former tour rider. He rides on the back of the motorbike for the Tour de France, and he works for Peacock and NBC. And he's here periodically. I do Dennis Morton. Scrolling down, I really like Jen Sherman. She's got a really cool style. Jess King. I really like Emma. So anyway, you kind of go through and you tend to figure out the ones that you like. And then on any given day, one of them is going to have a new ride, right? So I can either say show 3000, or I can simply collapse the window, and then I can go to, I can look at class type. I can filter by that. I can filter it by bookmark. I can bookmark any of these if I want to come back later. I can also just click on the not taken and show me the classes, right? Now here I am, I'm looking at it. There's all kinds of things that I can do on the bike. This is how I do the vast majority. I would say probably 98% of my rides I do just like this, where I filter them down, I see what looks good, and I go ahead and go for it. That's about it. Very simple. Now, if you keep going here at the bottom, we got experiences. So this is pretty cool. You can simply just ride the bike, right? If you want to just ride it, listen to music, you can do that. They also have this one. I think this is really cool, and this is pretty good for beginners, the scenic rides. So they have scenic rides from all over the planet. So you can go to Dublin, you can go to Miami, you can go to Colorado. Anywhere you want to go, for the most part, they've got a ride recorded, and you can basically be in that country, that state, that city, and you can be riding the bike there. Very cool. Another thing here, this I've sort of discovered later, is Lane Break. Lane Break is a ton of fun. It's their Peloton video game. It's kind of like a race around a track, basically. And you go back and forth between the various lanes. You speed up, you slow down. A lot of fun. And those, again, are their timed to various time frames, specific artists, themes like the 80s, etc. All that stuff. So I like doing a Lane Break once in a while just to break it up. All right. Now, if you keep going, you can click on entertainment. You could simply watch the Disney Channel or Netflix or YouTube, whatever you want to do while you're riding your Peloton. If you click on schedule, this will show you the latest schedule that's either already happened or is coming up tomorrow, for example. And you can see all the different all the different rides that are about to be released or when they're occurring live. If you want, you can try and join them live, even if it's in London, let's say, and you're in California. You can do all kinds of things like this. So cool. Now, personally, I have never actually joined a live ride. Not because I don't want to, but mainly because I love the convenience of just joining them later, and I'm still in a group of hundreds of people. So it's not like the necessity like you think it would be. But I would say that if you can get in a live ride, they may do a shout out to you at some point. So that's really cool, right? Now, also at the bottom, you got challenges. So right here, you can see we've got an annual 2025 challenge. We've got various September challenges. It's not just cycling either. They have meditation, they have strength challenges. You can sign up for those. And one of my all-time favorite things here is when I click on my own profile and you see all of the data points that they capture. This is awesome, okay? So I've got a full calendar here. It shows you every single day I cycled as well as the days that I didn't. It shows you my week streaks. Right now I'm on 40 weeks. I've cycled at least one day for the last 40 weeks, okay? At one point in time, I was cycling so much, I cycled for 6 months straight before I went on vacation and kind of ended my streak. But you can see, over the last 19 days, I burned, 14,000 calories. Total active time, right? It's got a window here, September 8th through the 14th. Got a breakdown. It's got total distance. This is how far I've pedaled the whole time I've had this bike. So over 3,500 miles, which is just absolutely insane, okay? In terms of the calendar, I can look at the calendar, sort of see a more broken down view of when I was riding the bike here. I can see that, top instructors, Ben Aldis is in there, as I mentioned earlier. I can see my workout history. This is one of the things that I always look at because I want to see how many calories did I burn. So I'll figure out the last time I rode the bike on the cool down, I did 81. If I'm looking at the main ride that I did 674. I can see the muscle groups I worked out. If I scroll down further, I can see my output. Then I can see my output overlaid over what the instructors put together. So you can kind of see where you stack up against what they're telling you to do, right? Going further, if I look at achievements, I can see all the achievement badges I've earned over, this whole time that I've been doing it. If you look at activity, you can see how active you were by day. And then this is cool as well. You can save various songs of music in a Peloton playlist. So I personally have an iPhone, I have a Peloton playlist, and I listen to it regularly because it's got all my favorite Peloton songs saved into it. So super, super cool. Overall, the Peloton. Initially, my only reservations with the Peloton, I would say was it's fairly expensive to buy, right? But this thing, like I said, this is rock solid. This is not like a cheap piece of exercise equipment. This is going to last you a long time. That's part of it. The other part is there is a $49 monthly membership. Now, that was one of the things I was like, I don't know if I would actually use that. Would I really use that? Well, the answer is basically a resounding yes. And the reason why I think is multi. First of all, the convenience factor, right? I'm here in my garage. I can ride this thing anytime I want. I do not have to drive to a gym. I don't have to deal with other people in the gym. I don't have to wait for somebody to get off the bike, right? It's right here. It's connected to my wireless internet. Everything works. It's very, very simple and convenient. I really like that, right? I also personally love the competition in it. I love racing people as I'm on this bike. As I mentioned, from where I started to where I am today, I'm probably in the top 1% of all the riders on this entire bike. So if there is, let's say, 10,000 people that have taken a race, I'm in the top 50. And I love the competition. I just eat it up. I love it. Prior to doing this, I was sluggish, slow. I work in corporate America. I was bored. I was out of shape. All those things are true. And this has just kind of woken me up. As I mentioned earlier, my mental health, I think, has gotten significantly better with the Peloton, especially with some of the daily quotes that you hear, the positivity, the drive, especially somebody like Bradley Rose. He has a ton of them, and they really have turned around my mental attitude. I think it's made me more productive. In terms of health benefits, as I mentioned, I've lost 30 pounds. My heart rate is lower. I've gotten alerted on that on my watch. The people that I work with have noticed I seem to walk faster than everybody else, and I think it's just because I ride this bike constantly. I love it. I like the instructors. I really like the vibe. It's got a really cool vibe, a really cool community, and I honestly just kind of can't get enough of it. So all those fears that I had about your traditional gym membership, and I've had plenty of those in my life, and eventually I just leave them or stop going or whatever. This has not been that way, and I think it's because of the convenience and everything that it offers. So the bottom line here is if you're thinking about a Peloton, I would highly recommend checking one out. If you already have a gym membership, it's possible that your gym may have one in it. You can test it like that. Sometimes you can find these on Craigslist, or you can simply just get a new one. I would say when I tried one in a gym at a hotel, it was nowhere near the quality of my personal one. So that is true. So if you want to get good quality, you probably got to just pull the trigger, get a new one. But that being said, I absolutely love the Peloton. As I mentioned earlier, I do have an affiliate link in the description. By all means, go check it out. If you got any questions, leave it in the comments. I'd be happy to talk about it. If you already have one, what your experience is. I personally love riding this thing. I can't get enough of it. And I like to share it with everybody because it's one of those pieces of exercise equipment that I honestly use every single day. So with that, this is Keeping It Real Consumer. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If so, make sure to hit the like button. Make sure to subscribe. I'll be coming back with all kinds of other great products and product reviews. So keep a lookout for that. And I will catch you on the next one.